Working at 2% Realty is great for me because number one, I'm successful. The leads roll in. Number two, it's success on my own terms. I'm doing the business that I want to do. It's client-oriented. I'm focused on the client's need, not so much on self-promotion. The leads come in on their own. People learn what 2% is about. They see our signs on the road. We're in the news. The leads generate themselves, and I can focus on being a professional, on getting the job done for my clients.
I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad I made the move. It's been 1 year now with 2% Realty, and business is booming. Clients are happy. They're saving money. I'm getting referrals from happy past clients. And again, it's a win-win for everyone. They're saving a few dollars, and I'm busy and on the go doing business.
Helping people and families with important decisions in their lives is very inspiring and rewarding.
The biggest advantage I've found since joining this team is the fact of lead generation. It's a huge thing in any realtor's market to try and spend money to try and find it and to try and find that next person. Being able to be generated leads directly from the website and passed down through the corporate down to us agents is definitely a huge advantage. It's made my job that much easier. I can focus more on dealing with the clients one-on-one than worrying about where I'm going to get my next lead from.
To work at 2% Realty, it's very easy and simple because our company is very supportive, and our clients really like the concept of 2% commission.
I think one of the greatest parts about working with 2% is the ability to pass on savings to the client and really getting a good feeling about doing business in a fair manner. That's something that you can't get with any of the other brokerages, and it's something that as a realtor makes you feel real great at the end of the day.
Getting paid. The best part of working at 2%, we get to meet a lot more people than working with a normal brokerage. We get a lot more experience, which I think benefits our clients.
It's a revolution, you know. We're comrades in this revolution to change real estate, and that's one thing that I've really grown to love.
Lead generation, as any realtor knows, is a challenge. Spending lots of money to try and generate leads and not knowing what the perfect model is, you're throwing money at everything to try and get as many leads as you possibly can. Since joining 2%, being able to just look at your BlackBerry or your smartphone and all of a sudden see 3-4 emails come through on any given day that says, please contact this person. They're interested in either buying or selling. So being able to receive lead generations directly from 2% helps me save my money, which in turn can help me advertise the model of 2% elsewhere.
Well, with 2%, when leads come into the main office and that, they are distributed throughout the other agents with the brokerage as well, which is a nice bonus with that too. So we have leads coming from the office, plus we're generating our own leads as well as we move on.
I think the brand really sells itself with 2%. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that are attracted to it. It's something new, it's something fresh, it's different, and we're working with more people, so we're working on volume. So we're coming into contact, we're actually selling real estate as opposed to sitting and waiting for our phones to ring. And I like selling real estate, so it works out.
On my previous experience with big guys, the brand names, lead generation is so difficult because there is no system that when they get some leads, it could not reach to our hands because we're so many on their membership.
I think lead generation through the 2% model is something that is a huge advantage. It gives me a steady stream of leads, allows me to follow up on them. Definitely more consistent business than I can get out of another brokerage. It also helps me cut down on advertising costs. Through lead generation, I can always depend on having a steady stream of clients.
2% Realty helps me generate leads. The 3 words, 2% Realty, that's really all I gotta say. As soon as I say those 3 words, people have a barrage of questions for me. Is it real? How does it work? How can it work? I find that I don't need to do that marketing. When I'm with another brokerage, 80% of my job is pushing people to choose me as a realtor. With 2% Realty, 80% of my job is real estate transactions. It's helping my clients. So it's like I'm in a completely different industry.
There are a lot of brokerages out there, and you really want to be able to differentiate yourself from everybody else. So everyone has their own sort of methodologies in terms of how they're going to be better than the other guy or more out there than the other guy. But I think 2% Realty, the name, it sells itself. You need something that's going to make you stand out against the sea of every other realtor out there.
Well, I think with the other commission structures, it's really hard to compete with 2% with the other models that are out there. And you know, being full service and just at 2%, it gives us an opportunity to put more money in our sellers' pockets and maybe to price it more competitively. And yeah, again, we're full service. I think it's hard for people to wrap their head around that.
I think the edge that 2% Realty has is the fact that we're a full service brokerage and we save people money.
And I think that is the most important why they want to sell their property, is to have more money in the pocket, not just plainly to sell it.
So I think the 2% advantage gives me as a realtor a lot of office generated leads. That generates business for myself, and it also allows me to transfer value to the clients.
The 2% Realty model really gives me an edge when I'm marketing my client's property by, I think it's just that we don't tap them out. They're not so worried about how much the commission is going to cost them that, you know, if there's small things they need to do to the property to fix them up, it's in their budget. If a property needs staging, it's in their budget. You know, I think that's the biggest difference in terms of our clients, is that they're not immediately tapped out with so much commission, that we can really focus on marketing the property and the things that need to be done with the property.
Being with 2%, the advantage that I have going into a listing appointment is the fact that we're working more for the buyer or for the seller side, helping them save money, put money back in their pocket. That being said, obviously it's a pretty easy sell when we're talking about commission rates and what they're going for these days. We have obviously a pretty good upsell to going and signing with 2%.
It's simple for people. If their house is worth $400,000, they know the commission is $8,000. They don't have to figure out complicated commission formulas. It's easy for them. It's a lot cheaper for them. I think it gives us a really good edge.
The paperless philosophy at 2% Realty, I mean, to begin with, it's no paper, and that's great because my house used to be full of paper. It was all real estate contracts up to 10 years back. So it's great not to have all of that paper, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. The paperless philosophy is so much more. It's about working in real time. It's about using technology. What it means is that when I do a real estate transaction, I don't have to come home that night to a mountain of paperwork that needs to be faxed and filed or carried into an actual physical office the next day. When I need that paper, it's there for me in the cloud. When I need to work with that paper or when I need to send that paper, it gets sent in real time. So there's not this piling up of jobs that need to be done later, you know, piling up of paper on a desk, filing of paper into cabinets. So it's the ability to work in real time, and it very much is the efficiency that allows 2% to work quickly, faster, and better for our clients.
So being paperless with 2% I think is a great advantage over other agencies out there. The fact that you can sit in front of your client, not have to go home, write things out, get on the computer and waste time back and forth. I can take the iPad that I have them sign the documents right in front of me. It just helps speed up the whole process, makes everything streamlined so easy. It's definitely a huge advantage, I feel, being in this industry and being with another brokerage before that wasn't paperless. It feels like you're cutting down a tree almost every time you do a deal.
The paperless philosophy at 2% is great because it saves me money when it comes down to buying paper, printing, ink, stuff like that, and also I think the efficiency too of having listings or offers signed on the spot electronically through an iPad.
在 2% Realty 上班的同事，我们都用 iPad 签合同，所有的文件啊什么的都是用 iPad， 所以很快很方便，我们的客户都很惊喜。
The clients love it because they get emails right away with all the contracts.
Life is already complicated enough. Having to carry around 30,000 different pieces of paper, which is like one contract, can get complicated, especially if you're doing 2, 3, 4 listings in a day, which does happen, you have everything electronically organized on your iPad. I think that it's also helpful that the broker does the same thing. So whenever I have questions or I don't understand something, it can all be set up with a phone call.
At 2%, we've picked up on a lot of modern technologies. Now we're using iPads to do our contracts. Typically a real estate transaction, you're printing 150 pages. With the iPads, we save all that paper, cuts down on our costs, helps the environment. I think the technology factor is really good.
Paperless is the name of something that really I think is the core of 2%. It's the simplicity and the efficiency that allows us to do more for less commission.
I explain a lot to the other realtors that I went to school with. You know, they don't really understand, they can't wrap their head around why I'm with 2%, but I love the people. I love that I have a good, down-to-earth relationship with my broker. He's there all the time, the support is there. It feels like a team as opposed to every man for themselves. I remember when I got out of school, I was scared, I didn't know what was going on. I had the support, and again, the other realtors were fantastic.
The biggest contribution to our success, I think, is simplicity. It's at the core of 2% Realty. It's like a reboot of how to do real estate. It's Real Estate 2.0 because it's built from the ground up to be simple and efficient, to take advantage of technology, and it's a philosophy that's focused on the client's needs. Whereas with other brokerages, I felt it's really systems built on systems built on systems, and a lot of those systems are built on how to make a brokerage work, how to make a brokerage work with agents that work for the brokerage. The client has almost been sidelined in the process. 2% Realty is a reboot. It's the client first, and it's how to make the client happy.
What contributes to the success of 2% model? You know, we get the people looking for us. Instead of trying to look for the people, they're looking for better alternatives, and they're looking for us.
I think what's driven the success of 2% over the years has been its ability to cater to a different market, underserved market. It's also allowed clients to explore a little bit more along the lines of an interactive technology-based brokerage that was not the case with traditional brokerages. I think that that's something that's only going to grow as the future goes on, and I think it's something that will propel 2% to succeed in the coming years.
Some other realtors were interviewed regarding the comment of what do you think about 2%? One of those guys was saying that let's see what will happen on the years from now. And then here it is. I think what he meant is that let's see if they can survive, but right now we're becoming big and we're spreading across Canada.
The biggest thing I think I can honestly say is that coming from a big brokerage before, you walk into the office and you're just basically a number. Whereas when recently we just had sort of a staff get together with the realtors and the brokerage. It was over coffee, it was very comfortable setting, and just the synergies that we were getting from being around the other realtors. There was no egos involved. It was a nice warm atmosphere, and it finally felt to be actually on a team where everybody's goal is to try and help the consumer and save money.
With 2%, I started to hear about it around town. I like the concept, and I just feel that with the way the market is changing over the years, that this is the way of the future. You know, I have worked with other brokerages over the past, and I love the concept of this, and the clients that I work with as well, they love the idea of, you know, fair.
What first drew me to 2% Realty was actually the price. There's a lot of fees involved with being a realtor, and with other brokerages those fees can be very, very high. The first thing that caught my eye with 2% Realty was the fees were significantly, I'd even say drastically lower. That's what got me to come in the door and to start asking some questions. And I find it interesting that it's very similar to the process that my clients go through today. You know, they come to us for the price, they come in the door, they start asking the questions, and then that's when we find out that 2% Realty is so much more.
I think it makes sense for for our clients to go with 2%. People are looking for better deals. They're looking to save some money on the commissions. They're tired of paying outrageous fees. I think the 2% model is easy and it works for people.
What drew me to 2% was that it was doing something a little bit different than the other brokerages. It seemed to have a concept that was tailoring more to an innovative and younger generation, and that's what drew me to 2%.
我叫的 2% 是因为它的很简单的2% 佣金split.
2%, I found being in the industry for 7 years prior to my 3 weeks being with 2%, I was coming up against going into listings and finding that people were using it as a sort of a benchmark, saying, you know, what was it that I was going to offer them that 2% couldn't. So just the obstacle was a little bit too much. Thought more about the concept and decided that it might be good looking into it and trying to join the force.